Hey, it's Josie with Affirmation Pod, where you normally get soothing affirmations infused with self-love, available 24/7 from me. But today we have a bit of a takeover. My daughter is taking over today. I'm just here to give a little backstory, and then it's all her. This all starts actually a long time ago because for years I've been getting requests for affirmations for kids. And it's been very sweet to see and to hear. Those of you with kids or young nieces and nephews, you've been playing Affirmation Pod episodes for them. So I've had the request for affirmations for kids on the request list for a long time. My position is if it is a podcast, it won't be on this podcast. It'll be a separate podcast. And as you'll hear in this episode, my daughter is now quite motivated to do a podcast like Mama's. In some ways, she's quite competitive, so I think she just wants to compete with me. And actually, pre-pandemic, we were working on some episodes. We were getting them recorded. And then when everything was set up, we were going to launch it, and I would just announce it on this podcast. This reminds me of Tom Hanks's virtual commencement speech where he was saying, every generation, there's before the war and before the internet and before Beyonce. And for us, it was before the pandemic. We recorded episodes that talked about getting ready for school. And here we are, we're not going to school. So in this episode, which is called I'm a Great Kid, it's for helping build confidence and self-esteem. It's one that fits for this season we're in. But I also know being at home can be hard for the kids as well as for the grown-ups. So we want to help. My daughter and I want to start a podcast. It won't publish as regularly as this one, but as much as possible, we want it to have episodes that are relevant for being a kid, but also for being a kid during a pandemic. So if you're interested in affirmations for kids, if you're one of the people who requested this, have a listen to this episode and please give us your input on what you want to hear on future episodes as my daughter and I build a new podcast. My son is also chomping at the bit to be on the podcast as soon as we give him the green light. You can tell us what topics you want to hear. Again, they could be about being a kid or about being a kid during a pandemic. Let us know by going to affirmationkids.com. That's affirmationkids.com. And now here's the incredible Lori with I'm a Great Kid.
Hi, I'm Lori, and this is Affirmation Kids Podcast. I'm 5.5 years old, and I asked my mom if I can make a podcast just like hers, but for kids. All my friends know that I love My Little Pony, love Sunny, and love PJ Masks. And Ben and Holly too. Probably you don't know that. This episode is called I'm a Great Kid. I'm a great kid. I'm great at painting. I'm great at stamping. I'm even great at making letters. I'm great at dancing. I'm great at drawing pictures. I'm great at decorating. I'm great at helping Mama make pancakes. I'm great at sharing toys. I'm great at being beautiful. I'm great at being a great kid. I'm great at getting ready. I'm great at putting my jacket on. I'm great at putting my socks and shoes on. I'm great at using my words most of the time. I'm great at being silly. I'm great at eating. I'm great at showering. I'm great at making necklaces. I'm great at making bracelets. And I'm great with my family. I'm a great kid. Now I hope you know you're a great kid too. Can you say something right now that you're great at being? That's cool. Can you help me make my own podcast? Can you go to affirmationkids.com to tell me what you want to hear on my podcast? I know you're like me and you can't go to school right now. So what do you want to hear when you're home? Tell me at affirmationkids.com. Now stay awesome. This is Lori for Affirmation Kids Pod. Bye.